Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're digging into a huge shift happening in Hollywood. You've got the two biggest names in comics, DC and Marvel, and they are charting wildly different courses for the future of superhero movies. It's a really fascinating tale of two completely opposite strategies.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll set the stage. Why is this all happening right now? Then we'll zoom in on DC's new game plan. It's super specific and all about character. After that, we'll jump over to Marvel's massive, star-powered pivot. We'll put them side by side, and then, the big one. What does all this mean for us, the people actually watching these movies?
So how did we even get to this point? Well, think about it. After Marvel's Infinity Saga ended, that was a definitive, universe-shattering finale. Both studios kind of hit a wall. There's been this period of creative uncertainty, and now they're both at this massive crossroads. The old playbook, it's just not cutting it anymore.
And this is the big, multi-billion-dollar question, isn't it? It's what's keeping Hollywood execs up at night. And honestly, whether the golden age is actually over or not, just the fear of it is forcing this huge rethink of how these massive blockbuster stories get told. The days when you could just slap a cape on someone and guarantee a billion-dollar hit, yeah, those days might be gone.
Okay, and check this out, because the contrast here is just night and day. The Infinity Saga, that was like a masterclass in long-form storytelling. It felt like one clear road, a single, cohesive journey that they had mapped out for a decade. But the Multiverse Saga, man, that started out a lot looser. And then a real-world crisis just blew the whole thing up, forcing this massive, totally unexpected detour.
All right, let's switch gears and look at DC's strategy. Under James Gunn's new leadership, their move isn't to go bigger, it's to go deeper, more specific. They're actually adapting a pretty recent, critically acclaimed comic book that gives a completely fresh spin on a classic hero.
And this quote from Gunn himself, it just perfectly nails DC's new focus. It's not just about cool powers anymore. It's about finding that unique emotional heart of these characters. They're trying to show us a Supergirl who is fundamentally different from Superman, all because of her backstory. She's more complex, she's hardened by this tragedy. And that's a whole new angle. So, what this means is, instead of building towards some huge, abstract cosmic event, DC is putting all its chips on one very specific, self-contained story. They're basically taking a singular artistic vision from the comics and betting that its quality alone will be enough to get people excited.
And let me tell you, this is not your typical origin story. The comic it's based on is this awesome, character-driven, genre-bending tale. Seriously, think of it like a cosmic western. It's got this jaded, lonely Supergirl who teams up with a young alien out for revenge. It's gritty. It's been compared to modern classics like True Grit and even Logan. That's a far cry from your standard superhero flick.
So if you boil it all down, here's DC's game plan. They're banking on strong, individual, almost author-driven stories to get us excited again. The bet is that one great standalone movie can be way more powerful than just another piece of a bigger puzzle.
Okay, now for Marvel. Their situation was, wow, very different and way more public. The main villain for their entire multiverse saga was suddenly gone. Gone. This forced them into an absolutely epic, real-time course correction. In this timeline, it just lays out how insane this whole thing was. You go from this triumphant announcement of the Kang dynasty to an arrest, the director leaving, the main actor being fired. It was just one thing after another. They had to completely re-architect the grand finale of their entire saga, basically on the fly.
And the pivot they made, it could not be more dramatic. They went from betting on a newer actor playing this complex, multiversal villain, to bringing back one of the biggest, most bankable movie stars on the planet to play one of Marvel's absolute A-list iconic villains. It's a complete shift from high-concept risk to guaranteed star power.
So, faced with this massive crisis, what did Marvel do? They got the band back together. They reassembled their A-team. We're talking the Russo brothers, writer Stephen McFeely, the guys who gave us Infinity War and Endgame. This is a move that is 100% designed to restore fan confidence and deliver a can't-miss, guaranteed blockbuster event. So yeah, Marvel's strategy really just boils down to this. They're doubling down on what worked like gangbusters before. It's a huge, high-stakes, big-budget play to bring this sprawling saga to a thunderous, satisfying close by using the safest, most proven hands in the business. So when you put these two game plans next to each other, you see two fundamentally different philosophies taking shape for the future of superhero movies. It's really, one's a scalpel and the other is a sledgehammer.
And this chart just lays it all out perfectly. You've got DC going deep and specific, taking a niche, recent comic to totally redefine a character in a unique genre. And then you have Marvel going broad and epic, pulling from classic, massive comic book events to deliver a huge crossover finale. One's a bet on the power of something new and daring, while the other is a bet on the comfort of what's already proven to work.
Okay, so what does this all actually mean for us? You know, the people buying the popcorn and the tickets. Well, it signals two very, very different futures for the genre that we've all been watching for the past 20 years. For Marvel, the ultimate endgame seems to be using this epic finale to hit a soft reset button. Secret Wars is being set up as a soft reboot, a way to clean the slate, keep the actors and characters that everyone loves, and, maybe most importantly, finally bring a new version of the X-Men into the fold for the next big chapter.
Meanwhile, DC looks like they're building a collection of strong, individual films first and a connected universe second. Their strategy points to a future where the unique vision of a director is more important than how every little thing connects. It's like they're creating an anthology of different styles, not one single cohesive story.
And that, right there, is the ultimate question. We are literally about to watch two competing visions for the future of this entire genre play out on the biggest screen possible. So will audiences line up for these intimate, character-driven stories, or will they only show up for the massive, nostalgic, all-star crossover events? Which horse are you betting on in this race?